Alright, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ron, and today we're getting into some UFC picks, man. This UFC Fight Island UFC 251 card it's insane, man. I've never been so hyped for a fight after Gilbert Burns got COVID and now Masvidal's on the card. This card, from top to bottom, is stacked, man. 3 title fights. I've never seen anything like it. Now, I'm going to give you guys my picks. I don't refer to myself as some UFC expert. I'm just a guy who bets on sports. I've been following the UFC here and there, but ever since quarantine hit, I've watched every single card and bet on every single card, man. There's been some great fights this quarantine, but this one at Fight Island looks insane, man. I'm trying to see Gamebred Masvidal do his thing. I think we're going to see some crazy fights, some crazy finishes. And now I'm using the FanDuel Sportsbook odds for this video. And every bet that I lay out through this video, I personally bet. I would never give you guys any kind of advice that I wouldn't follow myself. So let's get into it.
I know I'm critical. My nitty bag, my kitty boots. I got the juice.
Alright, now before we get into this card, I just want to make it clear. I'm going to go through the main event from the bottom up, and then I'm going to give some picks for the prelims and the early prelims afterwards. Now, I'm going to be breaking it down by units. Now, if any of you are new to betting here, I welcome all new degenerate gamblers. Look, a unit is the lowest possible bet that you would make. So let's say if you're betting in $5 units, that's $5 to $25. $50 is $50 to $250. So I just wanted to break down units real quick for anybody new to betting. Let's get into this card, man. The first fight is, I think, Rebus versus somebody. It was like minus 800. I'm not betting that fight. You don't have to bet every single fight on every card. It's not a winning strategy. You got to pick apart which bets look nice. And when I look at the Namajunas versus Andrade fight, there's definitely some value here. Thug Rose was picking apart Andrade in the first fight, and Andrade ended up winning with a lucky body slam. But Thug Rose had 47 head strikes through the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the second round and was just picking apart Jessica Andrade. Andrade got lucky with a couple body slams, one on Thug Rose's head. I think that there's no way Andrade gets lucky again. I think Namajunas is gonna have the counters for the body strike or for the body slams. And I think the second time around, Rose is going to put her out and have a counter for that body slam, man. I have 3 units on Namajunas winning at minus 196 on FanDuel. And I wouldn't mind putting a unit on Namajunas winning by KO. All right, now second up on that card is Pierre Yan versus Jose Aldo at, I believe, bantamweight. Now, Jose Aldo is one of the greatest featherweights of all time. And to me, I'm not sure Pierre Yan has a signature win yet. Now, Uriah Faber was past his prime. I know he has a win against John Dodson, but he doesn't have a win against anybody in that bantamweight that's major. He doesn't have a win against Moraes versus Aljo, even a guy like Stanhagen. I don't like the wins that Jan has, and for him to come into this fight as a heavy favorite like minus 240 against a veteran like Jose Aldo, I'm not sure I see it. I'm hearing a lot of Jose Aldo is washed. Jose Aldo, he's been fighting for a long time, but he's only 33. And I know that he's 3-3 since the McGregor loss, and McGregor kind of need him so hard that he kind of shook him, kind of broke down his morale. But look, Jose Aldo, he's one of the greats of the game. There's no way for me that I could ever bet against Jose Aldo at minus 240 for Pierre Yan. Now, he had that last fight against Marlon Moraes, and I think it was a split decision, and I think you could easily make the case that Aldo won that fight. And Moraes is the #1 contender in the bantamweight division. If the judges score that fight differently and Aldo wins that match, I'm not sure Aldo comes in at a plus 190 favorite. I have Aldo winning at plus 194 to make 2 units. So that's like 1.1 units to make 2. Whatever it is to make 2 on your sportsbook, that's what I'm going with. I think Aldo at the very least will get this decision. Aldo, he's too much of he's a veteran. He said he's been working on his leg kicks. I think he's going to look good in this fight against an inexperienced Pierre Yan. All right, now we have Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. This is going to be the second title fight of the night, and it's for the featherweight championship. Now, Max Holloway, he held it in the past. Volkanovski took it from him, and he won by unanimous decision. Now, Volkanovski's got those Australian tree trunk legs, man. He's just chipping away at Holloway. Holloway's a very thin guy. Volkanovski, he dominated the last fight. Holloway can't check the leg kicks, and now Holloway's a very tough guy to put out. Volkanovski's not much of a crazy KO artist. This is a bet that feels like it's going to go the distance, and that's a lock. I didn't really like the odds on that. I think it's around like minus 200 to go the distance, so not a fan of those odds. But when you look at it, Holloway's never been KO'd, and Volkanovski has won 5 of his last 7 fights by decision. I personally have 3 units on Volkanovski by decision at plus 105 on FanDuel. I think that's almost a lock. I think Volkanovski is going to do the same thing. He's a thick guy. He's gonna stand in the pocket. He's gonna throw. He's gonna get those leg kicks in. He's gonna do exactly what he has to do to win as many rounds as possible. I think stylistically it's a bad matchup for Holloway. I just don't see. I think Holloway's a great fighter in his own right, but I don't think that he has the tools necessary to beat Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski's that next great fighter in the featherweight division, and I see Volkanovski beating Holloway with ease again. And then I think this could be a potential matchup where Cejudo comes out of retirement and fights Volkanovski. But that's for another video, man. All right, now we got the main event, man. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. This is the fight that everybody wanted when this fight card was released, and it was kind of a bummer that it was Usman versus Gilbert Burns. And Gilbert Burns looks very promising, dude. But Masvidal, he's that guy in the welterweight division right now. I love Masvidal. I'm a huge fan, and I want to see Usman get baptized into that shadow realm, man. You know, he sent Askren there. He sent Till there. He sent, well, Nate Diaz didn't go there because he had that laceration or whatever. But Masvidal is the baddest man in this division. Literally, he has that baddest motherfucker belt, man. Masvidal is one of the most dangerous guys in this division, and I think that we were just shown with that Tyron Woodley-Gilbert Burns fight is that the top end of the welterweight division isn't as stacked as we think it is. I don't think that there's anybody. I think the welterweight division is wide open. In that fight against Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, it was 2-2 going into that 5th round, and Covington, he broke his jaw in like the 3rd or 4th round. That fight Usman could have lost in that fight. Usman is not untouchable. I think that the UFC tends to make their champions seem untouchable, and I think that better sometimes come off that and don't want to bet against a champion. Usman, like I said, it was very close going into the 5th, and one of his signature wins is against Colby Covington, where it was super close, and the other one is against Tyron Woodley. And I think Gilbert Burns showed us that Tyron Woodley isn't the guy he used to be. Now, look, the odds are against Masvidal. It's hard. He's gonna fight on a week's notice. He's flying all the way to Abu Dhabi. He has to cut 20 pounds, and then he also has to win. But I think he does it, man. I think he pulls it off. I think that there's some bad blood there. And Masvidal, he's been around for the longest time ever. But this run that he's been on, the Diaz, Askren, and the people sleep on that Darren Till fight. Darren Till is a legit welterweight, and he's up there with a guy like Colby Covington. When you look at this fight, I think Usman coming in at this crazy heavy favorite is unfair to Masvidal and the kind of run he's on right now. He's a crazy striker, and he's gonna have it in a spot where he can win or lose any match in that welterweight division. And at plus 230 on FanDuel, you have to take those odds. People want to talk about Usman and his great wrestling. Yes, Kamaru Usman's a really good wrestler, but you can ask Damian Maia. After the fight against Masvidal, Damian Maia said that Masvidal has one of the coldest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu games in the welterweight division. I think Masvidal's ground game's getting slept on, and I think on the feet, he's better than Usman. Masvidal only feels like he should be plus 165, so I'm taking that value. I'm betting 3 units on FanDuel at plus 230 for Masvidal, and I'm even sprinkling a little 0.1 units on Masvidal's second round KO at plus 1500. All right, to wrap this all up, I got a couple of bonus bets from the undercard and the preliminaries. First up, we have Volkan Ozdemir and Jiri Prochazka. Now, Volkan Ozdemir has a couple of good fights. He has a split decision against Dominic Reyes, but Jiri Prochazka is on a 8 KO run and has 7 KOs in the first round. I think he fights maybe in the Czech Republic or something like that. This is going to be his debut fight. I like him at plus 280 to get a KO over Ozdemir. I think he's hot. I think Ozdemir is a little bit hit or miss, and I like the value at plus 280 to win 2 units. So whatever you have to bet to win 2 units at plus 280, I like that bet. When we go down the card, we have Muslim Salikov versus Eliseo Dos Santos. I like Salikov because he seems to only lose by submission. I think he gets the job done. He's at minus 130, and I bet that to win 1 unit. So it should be 1.3 units to win 1. And we have Danny Henry versus Makwan Amirkhani. I like Danny Henry in this fight. Plus 180, I think it's a lot. I think the fighter's a lot more even than plus 180 to minus 215. Both have losses against guys in the top 15, and I just like the value on Danny Henry. I think it should be more like minus 115 to plus 105. So I'm gonna take the value at plus 180 and see what happens. And I've noticed that Amirkhani, he gasses out in the late rounds and he has bad stamina. So I don't mind getting Danny Henry to win in round 3, plus 1600, and putting a unit on that just to see what happens. On the last up we have on the early prelims, Marcin Tybura versus Maxim Grishin. I think I like this bet a lot. I like Tybura to win 1 unit. He's an experienced heavyweight against a debut fighter on short notice going up a weight class. I think that's near a lock and probably my favorite bet on my bonus bets. All right, if you made it this far, man, I appreciate it. Go down below, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know. This is my first UFC video on the channel. I'm hoping it goes well. If these picks don't work out, then flame me in the comments, man. But I'm feeling pretty good about this card. Follow me on Twitter at @RonStewart_, and let me know your predictions, man. I'm excited for this fight card. Can't wait to see Masvidal baptize Usman. It's gonna be great, man. I hope you guys all had a great 4th of July. I'm gonna have fun watching this card, and I'll see you guys in the next one.